Welcome back to the class Managing Organizations and Entrepreneurship. Today, I will introduce you to have the idea of the risks and risk management. The topic of risks and risk management has two subtopics that are: first one, risk and uncertainty as the PowerPoint 10.1, and second, the risk measurement as the PowerPoint 10.2. Before getting started class, the topic 10.1, risks and uncertainty. I would like you to know the learning objective of these topics. Firstly, you need to make sure that you meet all the learning objectives after you complete these topics. That is, first one, I expect that students can identify what are the characteristics of risks and uncertainty as the first bullet point, as the first learning objective. The second learning objective is that I expect students gain the concept of risk management. The third learning objective is that I expect students can identify the external and internal risks. Last learning objective, the number 4, the last learning objective of these topics that I expect students should have the idea on how to manage external risks as well as the internal risks. Here is the content, right, that I will share you the knowledge. I will share you the idea that is the risks and uncertainty. Then I will give you the idea about the concept of the risk management. Lastly, the type of risks and the risk management. First one, in terms of the topics of the risk and uncertainty. You probably have some questions that what is risk? So here on the slide number 5, right, what is risk? I give you the example that please imagine that you are a new business startup entrepreneur. For example, you invest your money, saying 1 million Thai baht to your new business startup. You expect to get return as the profit from this business probably 15%. The 15% is your expected return from your business from 1 million Thai baht that you invest in your business. The risk is, right? The risk is the chance that you probably not gain, not earn, right? The return at 15% that you expect. You probably get return from your money, 1 million Thai baht, probably 3%. You probably lost all of your 1 million Thai baht in your business, right? In summary, risk is the chance that the performance of your business may not perform as your expectations. Then we move to the uncertainty. What is uncertainty? Here you are. Uncertainty is a kind of the situations that may happen as unknown. The keyword as the first bullet point, that happen as unknown outcome. The keyword of the uncertainty is unknown outcome. Uncertainty again is might be that anything that you cannot avoid, but you cannot predict, and the uncertainty may happen to you. For example, if it is unknown whether will you get an accident tomorrow morning, that is the uncertainty. So on this slide, the slide number 7, on this slide, I share you the differences, characteristics between risks and uncertainty. In terms of risks, the main characteristic is the potential outcome are known. We can predict risks as that probably occur. We then can measure and reduce or control the risks. On the other hand, on your right hand side, that is the uncertainty. On the other hand, the uncertainty. The potential outcome of uncertainty are unknown as the first bullet point of the uncertainty. You then cannot predict and cannot measure the uncertainty as well as you cannot control the uncertainty. So I already complete in terms of the characteristic of the risk and uncertainty. Shall we move to the second agenda, that is the concept of risk management? In terms of the concept of the risk management, right? At this stage, I would love to share you the concept of risk management on the slide from the slide number 9. What is the risk management? The risk management involved with identified risks. You should enable to identify risks that which risks are external risks, which risk items are internal risks. The entrepreneur assume that, right? Suppose you are the entrepreneur. You should analyze and evaluate risks. The entrepreneur should plan to control the risks. How to control, right? How to reduce the risks. The risk management is how to reduce the probability or risks as well as how to reduce the seriousness of the risks that are probability happen in the future. I would love to say again that the risk management is how to reduce the probability or the seriousness associated with a potential risk in the futures. The key concept, right, on the slide number 10 is the key concept of the risk management. However, you cannot reduce 100% of risks, but you can reduce, right, the risks. How to reduce the risks as the risk management? Firstly, you need to know the risks that may impact or affects to your business. You then need to accept the keyword. You need to accept those risks that can happen and impact, right, or affects to your business. After that, you accept the risks that may happen and impact to your business. Then you need to plan, right? Plan, right? You need to plan how to reduce or manage those risks that may impact or affects to your business. Well, we go to the third part, right? That is the risk identifications as the learning objective that I expect you can identify the risk item in the external risk or the external risk or internal risk. Here you are, the part of the risk identification. I expect students can identify which risk item are external risks. As well, I expect students should identify risk item as internal risks. There are two main kinds of risks, as I show you on the slide number 12, that are external risks and internal risks. So, for the external risks as the first part here. In terms of the external risks, right? I give you the quick look, right, of the risks, right? You probably can notice that the basic risks associated entrepreneur in terms of the external risks that you cannot control. For example, economic risks, competitive risks, reputation risks. Well, what are the external risks? In terms of the external risks, right, you can notice that as the first bullet point, that risks that came from outside of your business and are difficult to control. For example, economic risks. You that can imagine that economic risks is the outside the business and are difficult to control, as well as the competitive risks and reputation risks. Those risks are external risks. Okay, shall we continue with the economic risks? What is the economic risks? Here, the economic risks is one of the external risks that you cannot control. As an example, an overall economic downturn could lead to a sudden or unexpected loss of your income or your revenue. During the economic downturn or during the recession period, the entrepreneur, right, face the economic risks. Can you imagine that at the beginning of the COVID-19 spread out, right, at the time for the last 5 years? Suppose, right, assume that you are a restaurant business owner, the restaurant business entrepreneur. The government announced the government regulation that the restaurant owner cannot serve the meal in the restaurant. You then cannot sell your food or drink or any products or service in your restaurant, right? You probably get lost in your business, right? In other example, an oil or gasoline price, like if the price of the oil or gasoline increase, this will impact to your business as well because you need to uh, drive your car to the market to buy raw food such as meat, vegetable, and cooking oil. So the oil price increase or the petrol or the gasoline price increase that will impact or that will affect to the cost of your business. Your cost increase as well, the same direction of the oil or gasoline price increase. Then how to manage, right? How to manage the economics leaks. In order to manage economics leaks, business owner need to save money as much as possible to maintain a steady cash flow. The entrepreneur, right? The entrepreneur can respond to economic leak by cutting the cost or diversifying their clients' base so that revenue does not rely on only the customer segment. You probably expand your delivery service in order to diversify your client's base and source of revenue. Here on this stage, I already shared the idea of the economic risks as an external risk and how to reduce the economic risks. Shall we move to the second external risk, that is the competitive risk? Competitive risk here is the risk associated with the fact that there are competing companies in the market. Competitive risk is the potential for the actions of a competitor to negatively impact to your business. For example, pricings, right? Pricings. Big discount by the competitor can be significant threat to your business. For example, please imagine that you are the entrepreneur of a coffee house in front of the university. Please imagine that there are plenty, right? Plenty of the coffee house in front of the university as well. So If the competitor sell normally you sell the coffee iced latte, for example, saying that 50 Thai baht, right? 50 baht. There are plenty of the customer when you sell the coffee iced latte at the price 50 baht. One day, your competitor in front of the university, they reduce the price of the coffee iced latte, right, from 50 baht to 40 baht. This event will impact your sales volume, right? Why? You probably lost your clients to your competitor that ultimately impact your revenue, as well as when your supplier, such as the one who sells you coffee bean, increase the price. This event impact to your cost, right? How to, right? The next slide, I want to share you that how to manage the competitive leaks. You need to, first bullet point, know the competitions. First of all, you need to know who are your competitor, both direct and indirect competitor. You need to find out what are their strengths and weaknesses. This will support you identify the area you should compete in. Second, know your customer. You need to know who are your customer. You need to understand what is your potential customer value. What are the customer expectation? What are your potential customer expectation? Are they expect lower price or are they expect for the premium service? This help you define your target market or the target customer where you are most competitive. Third one, differentiate your products and service. Differentiating is another strategy to manage competitive leaks. You should develop a unique selling point that tap into what customer wants. Differentiating yourself from the competitions make it easier to promote your business. You can win customer because of what's special about you offer rather than compete the price. Then for the fourth, look after your existing customer. Looking after your existing customer is a good strategy to manage competitor leaks as well. Your customer will be the target customer of your competitors. Don't give your customer a license or a chance to look for the competitors. Therefore, you should improve customer service by being more responsive to their needs and expectations. You probably consider offering some discount or loyalty scheme. It's cheaper, the easier to keep existing customer than to find new customer. Then for the number five, target new markets. For example, you probably sell your products into new market that can increase your customer base and spread your leads. Are there other potential customers similar to your existing target market, right? Could you reach a wider audience, the wider target customer by selling online or by selling overseas? Last one, the number six, maintain employee. Employee probably can be the competitive list as well. The skilled staff, right? The skilled staff and motivated employee can support your business. You then need to maintain and keep the skilled staff in your business. That's all how to manage the competitive leaks. For the third external leaks, that is the reputation leaks. What is reputation leaks? On the slide number 20, Reputation leaks is the leaks that some negative situation can negatively impact the business reputations. Any unhappy customer, right? On your right hand side, that is maybe any unhappy customer produce products failure or negative place or negative social media can impact the brand's reputation. However, social media, as you already know, that has amplified the spread and scope of the reputation leaks. Just only one negative tweet or bad review can decrease your customer following and cause decreased revenue. For example, can you imagine that you are an owner of a coffee house again, right? The coffee house again. Your customer, one guy, right? One guy order an iced coffee latte with less sweetness. Unfortunately, your staff thinks this customer asks for a much sweeter iced coffee latte. The customer get the iced coffee latte to his table and drink it. After that, he get back to the counter to complain about the iced coffee latte that he ordered a less sweet coffee, but the staff served him a much sweeter one. Your staff denied to change the new iced coffee latte to this customer. In this case, this customer blame your business, right, by posting on Facebook. For now, you can imagine what's gonna happen after his post. Then how to, right? How to manage the reputation leaks. In order to prepare for the reputation leaks, the business owner need to monitor and other are say what others saying about the company. I mean your business both online and offline. The business owner, right? You are the business owner. You need to be ready to respond to those comments and help address any comment immediately. The owner need to control product quality, deliver products timely, and give accurate information to the customer and the public. At this step, we have done the external risks, which are first one, economic risks, second one, competitive risk, and the third one, reputation risks, and how to manage this, right? These three external risks. We then move to the internal risks and how to manage the internal risks. In the part of the internal risks here, I share you the example of the internal risks that you enable that you can reduce the risks. For example of the internal risks, financial risks as the first internal risks. The second one should be operational risks. Third internal risks should be security and fraud risks. Shall we continue with the concept of the what are internal risks? The internal risks, as the first bullet point I show you on the slide number 24, that the internal risks, are risks that come from inside the business and can be controlled or managed. For example, financial risks, operational risks, security, and fraud risks. So shall we, continue with the financial risks? Financial risks is a kind of the internal risk, right? Financial risk is the risk that the business cannot repay or return the money to the creditor or to the bank as an obligation. If your business contain more debt, your business face higher financial risks. In case you cannot return the money to the bank or to the creditor, you probably need to sell your personal asset. For example, your house, your rent, your car, your motorbike, in order to raise the money and return those money to the bank. The more debt, right, a firm, a business has, right, the higher the potential financial risks you face with. Then you already have the idea what is the financial risk, right? Then I would like to share you how to manage the financial risks. First of all, I suggest you try to keep debt at the minimum level. I suggest you create a plan to start lower debt as much as possible. In addition, if your business, right, if you rely just only on all income from one or two clients, you have to, right, you have much more financial risks. If one or both of your customers no longer buy your products or no longer use your service, you will face financial risks. Therefore, you need to find a second source of income in order to reduce financial risks. Here we move to operational risks. That is the second internal risk factors. What is operational risk? Operational risks, right? As I show you on the slide number 27, that operational risks are associated with your business operational and administrative procedure. These risks arise from within the corporation, especially when a day-to-day operations of a company fail to perform. In terms of the operational risks, the operational risk is an unexpected event that could be a natural disaster or fire that destroy your physical business such as factory, office, or warehouse. Operational risks might involve a server outage caused by technical problem, or operational risks might involve an electricity power cut. These operational risks can impact your business in terms of the money, times, and reputations. How to manage the operational risks? On the slide number 28, right, I suggest you implement technology and system. You need to consider to use the software or tool to monitor and automate process. For example, a restaurant use a POS, right? POS system to track order and inventory. And then I suggest you do the regular maintain and backup. You need to keep equipment and system in a good condition and have backups. For example, a cafe, right, schedule regular maintenance for coffee machine and always keep some spare parts. Then for the third one, you need to train your staff, train the employee in order to make sure that your staff understand their roles and responsibility. For example, an online shop. If you are the business owner of in the online shop, you need to train your staff on how to handle customer complaint professionally, right? Then for the fourth one, how to manage the operational risks, I suggest you diversify supplier. in order to avoid dependence on a single supplier. For example, a clothing store, right? A clothing shop or the fast fashion shop order the fabrics from the two different suppliers. Last one, as the how to manage the operational risks as the number 5. I suggest you to establish a business continuity plan. We call here as the BCP, right? So I already complete you that how to manage the operational risks. Last one, for the internal leaks, that is the security and fraud leaks. What is the security and fraud leaks? Fraud leaks is the leaks of the unexpected financial material loss as the result of fraud activity of any person. It might be your staff, right? Fraud leaks are, for example, staff inventory theft or accounting cash fraud. The case of theft of ingredient, for example, you run a restaurant business, for example, right? Assume you are the restaurant business owner. Your staff take the beef, right? Beef or meat from your kitchen back to their home. For example, staff take some valuable items like seafood, some alcohol for personal use or to sell elsewhere. How you can manage these fraud leaks? You need to think, right? Then the other example, if you hire only one staff as a waiter, bill collector, and cashier, you hire just only one staff to do all things in your restaurant. Collect the money, serve the meal, right? Collect the bill, collect the money, and do the same job as the cashier. How can you manage these fraud leaks? If the staff collect the money from the customer, he probably keep the money in his pocket, not keep in the cash drawer. So you need to think how to manage the security and fraud leaks. I suggest you right here, you need to do that we call like a regular audit and checks, right? Example, that is the periodic audit and checks. Example, you need to count the stock weekly. For example, every Wednesday, that is the periodic audit and check. As well, you need to do supplies, right? Supplies audit or supplies check at any time without prior notice. For example, you might check the stock of beef any day during the week that is not on Wednesday in order to manage the theft of ingredient in your business, right? Okay, in order to manage the accounting and cash fraud, you should separate the duty, right? Can you imagine that you just hire only one staff to handle 3 jobs, right? Like a waiter, bill collector, and cashier. Then how to manage the leaks? So you should separate the duty. How to? You probably hire one staff responsible to serve the meal and collect the money. You then need to hire another staff as cashier, right? As a business owner, you need to separate duties such as bill collector and cashier. That is all, right? I expect to share with you the idea about the risk management. After this slide, right? For the next slide, that is the glossary of the week 10.1, risk and risk management. I provide you the glossary of the topic 10.1, risk and risk management. You can, right, do the self-study for your more understandings for the key term, right, the keyword of the risk and risk management from the slide number 32, right, 33. 34. That's all. I would love to share you the knowledge and the idea for the topics of the risk and risk management.